Take your seats. Okay, thank you. The quarterly meeting of the Texas State University System Board of Regents is now reconvened in open session. We have a quorum present, and the date is May 21st, 2021, and the time is 9 a.m. Dr. Trout, again, I'd like to thank you for a wonderful evening last night. It was so special, the Whitliff collection and everything. It's such a beautiful museum. It's just beautiful. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. We really do appreciate it. Thank you. Let's give her applause. Okay, our first order of business this morning is the Student Advisory Board report. This should be our last update by video, as we look forward to having the students back with us at our August meeting. If we could please roll the video, please.
Hi, my name is Lincoln Crump. I'm a sophomore at Lamar State College Orange.
Hello, my name is Layana Bonds. I'm a junior at Sam Houston State University.
Hello, my name is Tiffany Tran. I am a junior here at Lamar University.
Hello, my name is Robert Hawkins. I'm a second-year student at Lamar State College, Port Arthur.
Hello, my name is Melanie Guerrero. I am a sophomore at Lamar Institute of Technology.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I am a student at Colorado State University.
What's up, y'all? My name is Andrew Grice. I'm a sophomore at Texas State University.
For the spring 2021 semester, I really hope everyone has learned how to adapt, how to overcome and persevere through obstacles that they cannot control, because that's all this year has been, adapting and just learning from your mistakes and becoming a better person.
What I hope that students have learned during the spring is maybe time management, or probably balancing school online and their classes.
I hope students have learned that regardless of the adversity we have faced, we can succeed. If we can push through the challenges we have faced this semester, nothing can stop us.
Okay, I hope students have learned and accomplished this year to not give up. We've gone through so much this year. We've had so many challenges from hurricanes or ice storms and stuff like that, and I really just hope students can push through and learn to persevere.
Most of our students are in technical programs which require being in class. These students and faculty had to be creative in a remote or virtual format learning to be more familiar with technology. I believe it has taught students valuable lessons to make them even more successful in the future.
I believe that students have learned how to be adaptable and resilient in a year that has presented so many challenges to us, ranging from the overall pandemic to the multiple hurricanes and the ice storm. And we have learned how to successfully overcome these challenges in order to make our mark here on campus.
This has been an extremely difficult semester due to the coronavirus, and something that I hope the students were able to learn is a little more about resilience. As we live through our lives at Texas State and wherever we go afterwards, I hope that we can maintain our resilience and adaptation.
I definitely would say I'm looking forward to our traditional programs coming back in person for our fall 2021 semester.
One of the things I'm most looking forward to this upcoming semester is seeing students transition back into campus as we're going into this new normal.
What I am most looking for this upcoming semester in the fall is probably going back face-to-face. It will be a really nice change for being online. It will be great to have that almost a physical contact or physical person to talk to and have that energy back again other than being online.
For the fall semester, we are excited about the new programs like the Elite Mentoring Program that will help students even more during the academic career. I am also looking forward to gathering for more student events and being with my peers in the classroom.
I'm looking forward to the changes being set in place for the fall 2021 semester. If more face-to-face classes are allowed per CDC and Texas State University system guidelines.
I look forward to transitioning back to the thrilling culture of the school, both socially and educationally. During this transition, we look to provide each student with the Bobcat experience while prioritizing student safety.
I'm most looking forward to basically getting out in the community this next semester. I'm excited to outreach and get more students active in anything on campus and anything related with the community.
If I could give incoming students some advice, it would be to make sure you set high personal and academic goals for yourself and strive to achieve them. Also, to always prepare and expect the unexpected. Utilize campus resources like tutoring, the Learning Lab, and career services. But no matter what happens, you will always have a large support system to help you succeed.
Okay, advice I would give to incoming students is definitely just don't be afraid to speak up and ask questions. I know some kids can tend to fall behind because you don't feel comfortable, but it's so comfortable here. Just speak your mind and be honest.
The advice that I will give for incoming students that are coming in the fall is relax. Like, I know everything's new to you and this year of high school, and this is a new environment. Just relax, take it all in, yes, but know that you're not alone.
I recommend every Bobcat, new or old, to be as active as possible, making sure to participate in all of the opportunities that Texas State so excellently provides.
My advice for incoming students is enjoy the time you have fun in college, meet new people, and continue to better yourself along the way.
My advice for incoming students would definitely be to get into programs that give you financial help and that can assist you along the way. Go to tutoring, go to your office hours, because the professors will help you if they see you want to put in work. Also, I would say have fun and be safe. Enjoy your time in college.
My advice for incoming students is to get involved here at Lamar University and take advantage of the opportunities that are presented here. Not only will allow you to develop your interests, but it will also help you develop some of your leadership skills and allow you to meet so many other students here at Lamar University.
Advice to incoming students. Regents, do you have any comments regarding the video? Anything you'd like to say? Okay, I'll move on. Okay, we also want to give special thanks to the Sam Houston Student Activities Officer for putting these videos together the past year. And speaking of outstanding students, in our system we have one sitting on our board we would like to recognize. This will be Regent Amanda Lee. Lee's last meeting as student regents. Her entire term was during the pandemic, so we hope that she will have the distinct honor of having been the only student regent to serve in this manner. Regents, you have in front of you a walk-on motion resolution recognizing the outstanding service of our student regent, Amanda Lee. In addition to her work with the board, Amanda was kept busy schedule at Sam Houston as a student assistant in the Office of Vice President for Student Affairs, served as student body president, was a member of Elliott T. Bowers Honors College, and was a leader in many other university clubs and organizations, including the Orange Keys. And last Thursday, she received her Bachelor's of Arts in Communication Studies. Congratulations. Regent Lee and Dr. White, would you please join Mr. Winnemute by the podium, please? Okay. Everybody there? Okay. Regent Flores, do I hear a motion to adopt this resolution? Regent Tinsley, do I hear a second? Second. The motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? If no opposition, all in favor? The motion passes. Thank you. Congratulations. Mike, will you please read the resolution, please?
Yes, sir. Whereas Amanda Lee, a Jacksonville native, graduated from Jacksonville High School in 2017, learning well the importance of hard work and the spirit of giving from her parents, Douglas Lee and Lisa Foreman. And whereas Amanda Lee, a member of the Elliott T. Bowers Honors College and Raven Scholar at Sam Houston State University, received her Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies in May 2021. And whereas Amanda Lee, upon the recommendations of the Student Government Association, former university president Dana Hoyt, and System Chancellor Brian McCall, earned Governor Greg Abbott's appointment as Student Regent, serving from June 2020 through May 31st, 2021. And whereas Amanda Lee has been dynamically engaged in campus activities, having served as Student Body President, Vice Chair of the TSUS Board of Regents Student Advisory Board, Orange Key Student Ambassador, Alpha Delta Pi Executive Vice President, Student Government Association Chief of Staff, and a member of the Order of Omega Greek Life Honors Society. And whereas Amanda Lee has generously given her time, energy, and efforts to her community, volunteering with her sorority sisters at the Houston Ronald McDonald House, where her favorite activity is serving meals to the families living there, and at Christmas time being involved in gift donations to the Boys and Girls Clubs. And whereas Amanda Lee, who in addition to maintaining a rigorous academic schedule and active involvement in campus organizations and in her community, has worked as a student assistant in the Office of the Vice President of Student Affairs. And whereas Amanda Lee has well served this board, its institutions, and students as a student regent, devoting considerable time and effort to her regent's duties and bringing to the board her strong work ethic and passion for serving others. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Regents of the Texas State University System enthusiastically and unanimously adopt this resolution, recognizing Amanda Lee as among the best and brightest of her generation of students, and thanking her for her exceptional service to the Texas State University System, its component institutions, their students, faculty, and staff. Adopted by the Board of Regents of the Texas State University System on this 21st day of May 2021. Congratulations.
Thank you, Regent Lee. I can assure you we're going to miss you and we wish you continued success. With your work ethic, you'll do just fine in life, I can assure you. Chancellor and Regent Scott, will you please join Regent Lee and Dr. White to the easel? Oh, they're already done?
No, they're coming. I'm sorry.
They're coming back?
Yeah. If we could get former Chair Scott during her term and Chancellor. For the photo.
Okay, now I start reading that. I go to this.
Yes, you start.
Once they come back.
Correct. Right there.
Okay. You want that? Does she take that
Oh,
resolution?
yes, take it with you.
Take it
sir,
with you.
Sure. You can set it to the side. Good question.
Did you not hand it to her?
We were trying to go touch free. Yeah.
Thank you all. Okay, our next item is walk-on motion from the Texas State University System and Lamar University. It is a resolution honoring Dr. Kenneth Evans, President of Lamar University, with order to confer President Emeritus status and the name the Lamar University Welcome Center. Chancellor McCall, do you have any comments?
Ken is leaving to become president of Oklahoma City University, and I've asked him by December to please have that university be part of the Texas State University system. Ken, thank you for what you've done. In his tenure, he has improved the finances, the academics. There have been more construction projects during his tenure than in the previous 40 years on the campus. The campus has been beautified, the art collection is premier, and there is a lot for Dr. Evans to be proud of and a lot for us to be grateful for. Thank you, Dr. Evans.
And I also concur, Dr. Evans, you did an outstanding job. We're going to miss you very much, and I consider you a very good friend, and I hope to stay in contact with you. Any other regents have any comments? A minute.
Yes, you will.
He's waving at him, okay? Okay. Thank you, Brian. Dr. Evans, would you please come to the podium? Okay. It's my pleasure to make the motion that we adopt this resolution honoring Dr. Kenneth Evans, an exceptional president and a fine man. And it forever be memorialized in the proceedings of this Board of Regents and the permanent records of Lamar University and the title President Emeritus. Today, with all privileges, prerequisites stated in the rules and regulations for professors, I can't pronounce that, be conferred and forever ensured to President Evans. That the Chancellor assure that Welcome Center on the Lamar University campus be appropriately renamed in recognition of their services. Regent Harley, do I have a second?
Yes, second that.
Thank you very much. Okay, and are there any objections? I assure you there aren't. If not, the motion passes. Regent Evans, would you please read the resolution?
Whereas Dr. Kenneth R. Ken Evans received his undergraduate degree from the University of California, Davis, MBA from California State University, Sacramento, and doctorate from the University of Colorado, and whereas Dr. Ken Evans, who at the time he was selected to lead Lamar University as its 15th president in 2013, was serving as Dean and Fred E. Brown Chair at the Michael F. Price College of Business at the University of Oklahoma. Prior to that, he held a variety of administrative roles at the University of Missouri-Columbia, where he also held the Pinkley C. Walker Professorship and previously was a member of the faculty in marketing at Arizona State University. And whereas Dr. Ken Evans led more new construction on the Lamar University campus than the previous 40 years, including completion of the Wayne A. Rodd Administration Building to house University Administration and the Rodd Honors College in 2016, the Center for Innovation, Commercialization, and Entrepreneurship in 2017, and Science and Technology Building in 2019, and the Welcome Center in 2021. And whereas Dr. Ken Evans also oversaw the total renovation of the Seltzer Student Center and Quadrangle and the first floor of the Mary and John Gary Library, as well as the updating of numerous classrooms across campus, the President's Suite at the Montaigne Center and the Music Annex Building, the Lands Auditorium, and the Science Auditorium. Maintenance schedules for residence halls were initiated, new student parking lots were built, and the South Central Power Plant infrastructure was updated. And whereas Dr. Ken Evans established several centers to enhance student learning and address regional needs, including the Center for Advances in Port Management, Center for History and Culture of Southeast Texas and the Upper Gulf Coast, Center for Education Innovation and Digital Learning, and Center for Midstream Management and Science. And focusing on the student experience, he created the Office of Study Abroad, quadrupling the number of students who study abroad each year. Increased efforts in the recruitment and retention of students, especially international and transfer students, sought to streamline the faculty, research, and grant funding process and improve customer service toward students and prospective students. And whereas Dr. Ken Evans, understanding the need, established the President's Task Force on Diversity, Inclusion, Access, and Equality, and created the Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion position. Additional leadership roles developed to realize his vision for the university include Vice President for Management Information Systems and Analytics, Director of Marketing, Chief of Staff, Assistant Provost for Enrollment Management, and Assistant Provost for Science and Technology. And Whereas Dr. Ken Evans and his wife Nancy, who passed away in 2018, were committed to the enhancement of Lamar University's aesthetics, supporting the establishment of the Public Art Committee, which helped acquire numerous works of art for campus buildings, public areas, and green spaces, enriching the university's cultural life. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Regents at the Texas State University System enthusiastically and unanimously adopt this resolution, thanking Dr. Ken Evans for his exceptional service to the students, faculty, and staff of Lamar University, the Texas State University System, and the great state of Texas, for all are the better of his having passed this way. Adopted by the Board of Regents of the Texas State University System this 21st day of May 2021.
Dr. Evans, would you like to make a few comments?
Thank you, Regent Edwards, Chair Amato, Regents, colleagues. It's hard. Nancy was such a critical part of this journey. I wish she was here with me to celebrate this, but she's here. She'll be part of this. You can't do this without a great team, and you are an amazing group of people. Thank you for your support along the way. But the truth of the matter is, none of what I do on campus can't be done without these people back here. They have been an amazing team. The students have been an absolute delight. We transform people's lives in our system. Don't ever forget that. The unique nature of what happens in the Texas State University system is different than any other system in the state of Texas. If there's any one single differentiating feature, it's that over half of most of our students are first generation. And they will transform the lives of their families and the lives of the families thereafter that follow them. No other system can make that declaration. I'm proud to have been a part of this. Thank you very much.
Stay there, don't leave, please. Chancellor and Regents, would you please come up for a picture?
Oh, all of us?
I get you full and Cody and do a photo.
Can I get up now? Okay, thank y'all. The next order of business is the 2020 Texas State University System Progress Report and video. Chancellor McCall, if you would please give us an update.
To succeed, it's important to measure. And if you're going to measure, it's important that you're measuring the right things. 10 years ago, we made a list of about 50 things that we think are worthy of a snapshot to see where we were in 2010 as compared to where we are each year subsequently. And today we have a snapshot of what 2010 looked like and what this system looks like today. And you will see that we have made significant progress in most areas, some progress in some areas, a little progress in a few areas, and a lack of progress in just a very few areas. And I'm glad the inverse is not the case. I want to thank the presidents and their teams because that is the reason the progress has been made. Each campus has worked diligently in measuring and determining how best to grow in each of these areas. The document that is being handed out to you will show. One point of interest is that you will see that we had a 354% increase in that period on online credit hours. That is apart from anything that happened in COVID. That is a standalone growth in online hours. And in fact, the Texas State University system is the #1 system in this state for the percentage of fully online students. We have a lot to be proud of, as will be demonstrated in this video.
Over the past decade, Texas has added 4 million new residents, the most of any state in the nation, and experienced one of the highest growth rates in the U.S. The qualities that have drawn so many to Texas, better opportunities, a more rewarding career, a better quality of life, are the same qualities behind the Texas State University system's impressive rate of growth. In fact, while the state's population grew by 18% over the past decade, enrollment across all TSUS institutions increased 21%, from 72,000 students in 2010 to 87,000 students in 2020. To put the system's total enrollment growth in perspective, the number of new students added between 2010 and 2020 is equivalent to an institution about the size of Lamar University. Over the past decade, the number of degrees and certificates awarded by TSUS institutions significantly outpaced enrollment growth, increasing 42% from 15,000 degrees in 2010 to more than 21,000 degrees in 2020. During the same period, degrees awarded to Hispanic students increased 142%. Degrees to African American students increased 118%. And degrees awarded to economically disadvantaged students nearly doubled.
It's important that we provide access, opportunity to every single person who's in our region who needs an education. And so it's very important that we embrace all of those who are moving into the area, who are growing up in this area, and really producing an educated workforce and an educated citizenry for our communities.
As degree productivity has improved, so have graduation rates. The average 6-year graduation rate across TSUS increased from 45% in 2010 to 52% in 2020. During the same period, 4-year graduation rates increased from 22% to 31%. And the graduation rate among community college transfer students increased from 56% to 61%. Although these increases are notable, there is still more work to be done to make sure all students succeed. TSUS is a leader in online education, thanks to robust and long-standing programs at Lamar University and Sam Houston State University. Over the past decade, the number of online degree programs across TSUS increased 5-fold, from 32 programs in 2010 to 162 programs in 2020. During the same period, the number of online credit hours taken by students increased nearly 1,500%, from 27,000 credit hours in 2010 to 430,000 credit hours in 2020. Today, TSUS leads the state in the percentage of fully online students.
The pandemic was the point of departure, and people think of that as being a disruption in education, but there are flu outbreaks in school. There are weather consequences that shut schools down. Unfortunately, more recently, the violence has shut schools down, all of which are consequences that require schools to have a resiliency capability, and that's online.
TSUS institutions have also made significant gains in research activity, providing students with valuable hands-on learning experiences and addressing some of the state's and nation's most pressing challenges. Over the past decade, driven by a significant increase in research capacity at Texas State University, total research expenditures across TSUS more than doubled, from $41 million in 2010 to $85 million in 2020.
We know that our students want to be engaged in faculty research, and we have both graduates and undergraduate students who work with our faculty on research. And we do studies of our students, and we know that's one of the reasons they come to Texas State. But the other reason is because Texas needs more research universities. And about 10 or so years ago, the legislature laid out a path for universities like Texas State, emerging research universities, to become national research universities, because Texas realized that our economic future is very dependent on higher education.
As TSUS has grown to better serve students and the state, it remains the most efficient university system in Texas. The system's administrative cost as a percentage of its operating budget dropped from 10% in 2010 to 8% in 2020. During the same period, the average of student debt across TSUS institutions dropped from $27,500 to $26,500, well below the national average of about $30,000 for bachelor's degree graduates.
One of the exciting things that we're implementing at Lamar State College is a new 8-week model. Instead of a student who would normally take 4 courses over 16 weeks, they'll take 2 courses in an 8-week period, followed by another 2 courses in another 8 weeks. That also allows individuals who may only need 1 or 2 classes to get their certificate to get it 8 weeks instead of 16 weeks, which that means they can go to work quicker.
As the Texas State University system begins its 12th decade, we celebrate the achievements of our hardworking faculty, staff, and students, as well as the work of our presidents and their leadership teams. Today, as a result of their efforts, TSUS is larger, more effective, more efficient, and better equipped to meet the changing needs of the state and our students.
The story of the Texas State University system is a good story, and I stop strangers on the street and try to tell it. We can't stop now because the pace has been urgent, the journey long, and the burden heavy. We're at the side of the hill, not the top of it. Accordingly, we will be developing with the presidents goals for each campus on most of the benchmarks that you see, but also other benchmarks. Some will fall off, some will add on, for the next 5-year plan. And accountability to the presidents and their team will be tied to the success going forward. Measuring, planning, coming up with the goals, making sure that we hit them, and doing everything we can to make sure that every goal is student-centered. That is what we will be doing, and I look forward to reviewing this report 1 year from now. Thanks to the presidents, their teams, for all they do to have gotten us to this point. The success is evident. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. McCall. Do any of you regents have any questions, Dr. McCall? Nope. Did a great job. Communicate. Thank you. The next order of business is Texas State University's campus update. This year's update will be presented by Texas State Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Jean Bourgeois.
Thank you, Chairman Amato, Regents, Chancellor McCall, colleagues. It was very apt, I think, that I'm now going to follow Chancellor McCall in this update on the TSUS performance metrics. You know, every other week, I chair a group that looks at enrollment at Texas State University. And I end the meeting typically, as Mr. Algo knows, by saying enrollment matters. And enrollment matters a lot for Texas State and for our system. But what matters even more is the success of those students. So I am very proud, and I'm glad that people have noted, John Hayek noted it yesterday, that graduation rates and the numbers of graduates matters even more than enrollment. So at Texas State University, we award more than 9,000 degrees every year now to our students. 9,000 a year. And included in that group are about, on the last 3 years for average, over 4,800 students who are at-risk students. So part of that population, Chancellor McCall, that you spoke about a few minutes ago, we're graduating 4,808 on average every year at Texas State University. I'm going to talk about research, which you know that's one of the favorite topics that I talk about. President Trouth mentions, it was mentioned in the video. But behind me right now, you're awarding Regents Awards today to 6 Texas State University members. I've got faculty who are earning these awards for research. These are faculty members who are being awarded for their teaching. It's that labor that leads to that graduation success. And I think some of you know that just this past week, the Texas State Legislature awarded 2 Artist of the Year awards to Texas State faculty members. A guy who's a Guggenheim Fellow, he's a star, Cyrus Cassell, he is the Poet Laureate. And then Jennifer Ling Datchik, who's a tenure-track faculty member who was named the Texas State 3D Artist of the Year. It's that kind of performing and creative work by these faculty members with their students that leads to success. And then, well, last night I saw that LSU now has 5 NSF Career Award recipients this year. We probably will have 4 at Texas State, so I'm losing by 1 right now to LSU, but 4 NSF Career Award recipients. And again, they're gaining these awards not just for research, but because of the work they do with students. So please keep that in mind, even again, as I emphasize a little bit what we're doing in terms of research at Texas State. So in the last few years, our updates have covered specific academic disciplines and their research strengths, the Texas Innovation Corridor, Star Park, and our big ideas. Today, the campus update will focus on a unique initiative that draws on the strengths of all the aforementioned topics. Building Smart Cities, CIEDAR, C-I-E-D-A-R. CIEDAR is the acronym for Connected Infrastructure for Education, Demonstration, and Applied Research, which is a strategy to validate, evaluate, develop, and integrate smart technology into the infrastructure of our cities. Using a consortium model that partners Texas State with private companies and local and state municipalities and agencies, CIEDAR will research, test, and integrate technological advances in the development of smart utilities, smart buildings, smart energy, smart water and wastewater, and smart transportation and mobility to create the infrastructure of smart cities. Now, you may be familiar with some current common household smart devices, technologies, and systems. Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, some of you probably have either one of those. Nest thermostat controls, Philips Hue light fixtures and Lutron light switches, Ring doorbell security cameras and floodlights, August smart locks, Amazon smart power outlets and plugs, Brava smart ovens, Mr. Coffee smarts, or a Rakio smart sprinkler controller. Well, the operating premise behind these smart technologies and devices is that they and others are all connected to the internet and can communicate, send information, and be controlled through commands or signals to automate what they do. They typically are connected via modern networks, both wired and Wi-Fi, and they can be controlled and monitored through apps on your phone or by voice commands. A home's wired and Wi-Fi network today has sufficient bandwidth to make a single home a smart home. Speed is important in communicating among these devices and systems, but it's not typically critical that almost instantaneous communication occurs between them. However, as more connected devices and sensors are installed, a more robust network will be needed. Now, bear with me a little bit more as we scale this household Internet of Things, or a smart home, to a neighborhood, neighborhoods, or to a city, to the infrastructure that connects these homes in these neighborhoods. The Office of Electricity frames smart grid technologies as those that are made possible by intelligent two-way digital communication technologies and control systems, creating interactive capabilities underpinned with big data and analytics that allow for the system to be optimized. Imagine a whole neighborhood where appliances and devices in homes are communicating with the electrical system to maximize operating efficiencies and use less electricity. Imagine your neighborhood where electric vehicles are plugged in and recharged automatically at the cheapest time to charge them or their batteries, and solar cells on buildings actually contribute energy back to the local microgrid. Intelligent sensors and control systems are integrated in the water and wastewater systems, detecting leaks, loads, and changes in water quality in real time and allowing for interventions before they become costly, dangerous, or interrupt regular service. Consumers and utility engineers can monitor this usage in real time through an app. These and other system controls are evident in your neighborhood's buildings as well. Connected wirelessly to the internet, sensors embedded in rooms and other spaces and mechanical systems help monitor and control interior comfort, access, occupancy levels, energy, water use, lighting. Some of these windows over here feature those kinds of sensors and controls, and they allow for real-time adaptive changes to operations and building functions. Now, getting to, from, and around these neighborhoods involves smart transportation, when wireless cellular 5G networks help manage dynamically the flow of vehicles, people, and goods in a variety of multimodal aspects, all to improve safety, efficiency, and environmental impacts as they move about. Again, sensors in vehicles, in roadbeds, on roadways, train cars, bicycles, and cell phones communicate instantaneously in real time to facilitate better travel. I slipped in the 5G network to this last example. It's this developing 5G network with their speed and bandwidth that will allow the millions and millions of sensors to be connected and the devices to be connected to the sensors. Their ability to handle the resulting massive data flows with virtually no latency that are critical to scaling smart technologies to infrastructure systems in your neighborhoods and in these cities. I now invite you to watch a short video about Texas State's new initiative to build smart cities.
The communities of tomorrow are being designed today. The cities of the future are being invented, tested, and perfected right now. At Texas State University, we're defining how great ideas become life-changing opportunities. To meet the challenges of tomorrow, we need to find new ways to put our research power and innovative spirit to work. We need to use our research resources to create the infrastructure of the future, solutions for healthier living, and technology that will drive the next wave of economic growth. That's the next step in building a better Texas, and we're taking it today. What is CEDAR? The CEDAR Project is a strategy to integrate smart technology into future cities. It's a way to set new standards for building and environmental safety with power to boost productivity while driving down costs for businesses and every member of our community. That's why we're bringing together all the elements we need, helping great researchers and dynamic companies combine their strengths. A series of specialized labs working together to form a fully integrated testing facility.
CEDAR stands for Connected Infrastructure for Education, Demonstration, and Applied Research. It's a mouthful, so we just call it CEDAR. Well, CEDAR is really a strategy that's developed here at Texas State to align our world-class research mission with key partners out in the external community. And so these could be partners in the private sector, for-profit companies, maybe big multinational companies or startup companies, high-tech companies. But beyond companies, it also allows us to align with state agencies or even counties or municipalities. Any group that really wants to work with Texas State to promote innovation.
This ongoing collaboration will take research breakthroughs from the lab and put them to use to improve lives and create business opportunities.
For us, economic development is critical, and economic development means a lot of things. But ultimately, what it means is businesses being able to grow and succeed here. So the talent pipeline Texas State provides, fundamental. But when you can address and service the business needs, and that's where CEDAR plays a key role. When they can help accelerate, use R&D, look at other ways to grow a business through its roots and helping them develop the next product, that's what's going to provide our competitive advantage as a region to attract, locate, and grow businesses here in the Greater San Marcos region.
So what they're looking for are places like Texas State that have world-class faculty, that have world-class research facilities that are carrying out research every day, and they're asking the question, how can we be a part of that? And so they're very willing to spend a good bit of money to become part of Cedar. And then what that does is that allows Cedar to flow that money back to the university and to support our research faculty, to buy new equipment, to support our students while we are helping those companies solve the problems that they need solved. So it's a very unique model. There aren't a lot of examples like it, and we're excited to see Cedar, really come into fruition.
The next big step is taking shape at our renowned science, technology, and advanced research facility known as Star Park. We're creating a space where new technologies can be developed and put into practice under real-world conditions. This is how what's next becomes what's now, taking a host of exciting new technologies and combining them in new ways as the Cedar program grows. We will invent and perfect new technology to improve critical highways, bridges, and rail systems, sustainable and affordable construction concepts, revolutionary approaches to provide clean, efficient power and water to every home in America, all happening here. Imagine roads and bridges built with embedded sensors that can detect excessive stress or cracking long before it becomes a danger to drivers. Or an office with smart sensor materials built in that can recognize how many people are in a room, efficiently adjusting the heating and cooling, monitoring air quality, or optimizing the amount of natural light from the windows as the weather changes outside. Because Cedar's approach works across disciplines, our solutions will have impact in multiple fields, mobility, and construction. 3D printable sensors and wearable sensors will change our approach to healthcare and personal wellness. And we will explore new ways to revolutionize our energy grid to make it more efficient and reliable while lowering cost for both producers and consumers.
There is a great opportunity for Cedar to attract new relationships that we have never had before. We're talking to all kinds of companies, from the biggest telecom companies like AT&T to Amazon, which is a neighbor here with incredible facilities already. We're talking to companies like General Motors, Itron, Dell, NXP, Intel, Microsoft, IBM. I mean, the list is long. All focused on all these verticals, right? Mobility, construction, energy, water, networks, sensors, software. The Cedar mission is to deliver through multidisciplinary technologies and knowledge from our faculty and our students and our partners and members, how we transform and innovate and ultimately create a sustainable reality that deals with better water, better energy, better transportation, better buildings, better communications, better technologies to enable all that. Cedar is really delivering what we call one digital world. Imagine a world where everything is integrated, everything is available to anybody who needs it when they need it, and it's an equitable and fair paradigm that is sustainable for life, forever. And again, it's an abundance economy, it's an abundance digital world.
How does Cedar work? Through this ambitious endeavor, Texas State is making transformative strides in smart utilities, smart buildings, smart energy, smart water wastewater, smart cities, and smart mobility. Cedar is a unique opportunity to unite our world-class faculty and research facilities with cutting-edge companies to work on real-world solutions. It's a unique model that connects research university resources with the best minds in business to shape the vision of the next generation of smart cities and infrastructure.
So now there is a need for not only integrating renewable energy, solar, wind at the utility scale level, but more importantly, there's an incredible need to integrate things at the edge of the grid. Your electric vehicle, your energy storage, your solar rooftop, your smart appliances. Multiply that by 1 million people that live in the same community, and now you have an interesting challenge of actually synchronizing and managing all that.
Cedar Labs, both at Star Park and across other university facilities, will explore different uses for specialized sensor technology, a variety of network systems and strategies, and different ways to utilize data and software. Beyond campus, private sector partners will bring their own innovative solutions to the table.
So one of the things that we might do is we might create basically a playground, an area where they can come and they can test these different kinds of autonomous vehicles. They can look at how they move, how they operate. We can build parking places and driveways and allow those prototype autonomous vehicles to move around in that space. And they can do a research project on that and then take that information and go back and talk about, well, how does that apply to the real world? So we see Cedar as this place to really allow these companies to play and to innovate.
Together, we will explore ways to make bridges with embedded sensors to catch structural defects, create zero-waste water systems, and use intelligent mobility systems to keep city traffic flowing smoothly.
You know, the way cars now will monitor the air pressure inside your tire, and they'll tell you your tire's getting low, and so it'll give you a signal before the tire fails. It's exactly what we want to do with roads and bridges. We want to be able to know whether or not the concrete is getting weaker, and we want to know that before it fails. And that's what these sensors will do. They're actually embedded in the concrete of the road or the bridge, and they're detecting the strength, and they're detecting the vibration. And so it will tell us well before that bridge or that road is going to have a structural problem that we need to do something about it. Another example is water distribution. So we can put sensors into water supplies. And so let's say there's a break in a water main, but it's below the surface. Well, we might not know about that until all of that water destroys the road and the infrastructure. But with sensors, we can detect a change in water pressure and we can fix that before it ever becomes a major problem. So monitoring water pressure, monitoring the strength of roads and bridges, this is where these materials with intelligence and sensors are really going to play a big role, especially as we develop these so-called smart cities.
The progress we make here will benefit every segment of our community. This is how new jobs and industries are created. This is how we make our state more resilient to our changing climate and maintain our status as a state that thrives, even when the world markets grow unpredictable.
The more we can utilize Texas-state relationships to help grow the private sector, the more we will be successful. The more we find the great emerging research institution that Texas State is, you're getting into some of the key areas of material science, smart technologies, other areas that we know the type of industries that are growing here and what our economy will look like in the future. That's the type of collaboration we will continue to foster, we'll continue to connect with as those companies from around the world are looking to put a location in the United States. We want them to be in Central Texas, we want them to be a partner with Texas State, and we want them to ultimately provide jobs for our residents.
I think there are benefits to Cedar that go beyond just developing a new technology or a new battery or a new type of concrete. We have to think broadly about how this helps us as a region and as a state. The natural resources of Texas are one of our most valued resources, and probably the most valued of all is water. We never have enough of it, or if we do, it's in the wrong place. And so I think some of the technologies and some of the companies we're talking about, they're focusing on trying to manage those natural resources, trying to understand how can we predict issues related to water, water contamination, water purity. How can we keep our streams and our lakes clean and accessible?
Cedar is just one of the ways we're turning next into now, continuing our mission to be an active force for improving the lives of our students, our neighbors, and all of Texas.
Well, I hope you can remember Cedar, if nothing else, and that it's tied to smart cities. But the other thing that it's tied to, you all approved our new civil engineering degree program a few years ago. At this meeting, you all have been approving the early stages of what we call Industry 4.0 mechanical engineering. So 2 major engineering programs at Texas State. You know about Star Park, you know about our advanced manufacturing skill sets. We've got skill sets in data analytics and analysis, artificial intelligence, machine learning, network systems, the smart nanomaterials. But also think about interior design. There are areas within our creative arts and interior design faculty members who will lend strengths to these kinds of programs. I leave you with the fact that you live currently in emerging smart cities. It's going to become a city and then another city that are all connected via these millions and then billions of sensors. Texas State University through CEDAR wants to get out in front and partner with private sector, municipalities, and state agencies to make it reality. So I thank you very much for allowing us to talk a little bit about our role in building smart cities. Thank you.
Very impressive, very impressive.
Thank you.
I love it. Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Bourgeois? Okay. Okay, the next order of business is the postponed business from yesterday. We have 3 postponed items from the miscellaneous section. These are the presentations of the 2020 Regent Awards. Mike, you have the floor.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Regents. Each November, I have the privilege of introducing recipients of the Regents Professor Award. This is the highest faculty honor in the Texas State University system. Of course, during the pandemic, we were not able to formally recognize the 2020 Regents Professors at that time, although resolutions were adopted at that meeting. Since 2007, 33 faculty members from across the system have been recognized as Regents Professors. The 3 distinguished professors here today bring that number to 36. I'd now like to ask Dr. Jerry Cook from Sam Houston State University, Dr. Dwayne Knudsen from Texas State University, and Dr. Patricia Shields from Texas State University to please step forward to be recognized. Also, will Regent Edwards, Dr. White, and Dr. Trouth also please join the honorees near their respective resolutions. Regents professors are nominated by their respective presidents, recommended by a committee of their peers, and selected by the Texas State University Foundation, Texas State University System Foundation Board of Directors based on their outstanding records of teaching, research, and service, and their contributions to the educational community at large. In alphabetical order, the 2020 Regents professors are Dr. Jerry Cook, Professor of Biological Sciences at Sam Houston State University. Dr. Cook joined the SHSU faculty in 1999, having served as Assistant Research Scientist and Postdoctoral Research Associate at Texas A&M University. He earned a Bachelor of Science in Geology and a Master of Science in Biology from the University of Southern Colorado, and a PhD in Entomology from Texas A&M University. He has elevated the university's stature by serving as Program Director for the National Science Foundation, as a member of the National Invasive Species Committee and a member of the United States EPA's Advisory Committee. Dr. Cook has accepted several administrative appointments, including Associate Vice President for Research, Interim Dean of the College of Science, Interim Dean of the Graduate College, Interim Chair of the Department of Biological Sciences, and Executive Director of the Texas Invasive Species Institute, all while continuing his teaching and research responsibilities. Regents, please join me in congratulating 2020 Regents Professor Dr. Jerry Cook. Our second Regents Professor is Dr. Dwayne Knudsen, Distinguished Professor of Health and Human Performance at Texas State University. Dr. Knudsen earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Physical Education from the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, a Master of Science in Education from Baylor University, and a PhD in Biomechanics from the University of Wisconsin-Madison before joining the faculty of Texas State in 2009. Dr. Knudsen has authored 3 books, translated into 8 languages, 22 book chapters, 155 peer-reviewed articles, received 23 internal and external grants, given 106 presentations, served on 4 editorial review boards, and authored more than 36 articles in sports magazines and websites. He was named Fellow of the National Academy of Kinesiology, received 3 national, 2 regional, and 1 state award for scholarship in kinesiology and exercise science, contributed to the development of internationally used instructional resources, and used his expertise to serve the U.S. Tennis Association, International Tennis Federation, U.S. Department of Education, Institute of Medicine, Royal Society, and the British Broadcasting Corporation. Wow. Regents, please join me in recognizing Regents Professor Dr. Dwayne Knudsen. And our third Regents Professor is Dr. Patricia Shields, Professor of Political Science at Texas State University. Dr. Shields earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Economics at the University of Maryland, and a Master of Arts in Economics and PhD in Public Administration from The Ohio State University. She has published 4 books, 45 journal articles, 27 book chapters, and 17 book reviews, served for 19 years as editor of Armed Forces and Society, the leading journal in civil-military relations, and is internationally admired as a productive, influential, and frequently cited scholar. Dr. Shields has been named a Fellow by the National Academy of Public Administration and received the American Society for Public Administration's Rita Mae Kelly Research Award for Outstanding Research in Gender-Related Issues and the Laverne Birchfield Award. Regents, please join me in recognizing 2020 Regents Professor Dr. Patricia Shields. And a belated congratulations to all of our 2020 Regents professors. We're glad, so glad that they were finally able to be here in person, and as the rest of you are.
Congratulations. Congratulations, everyone. Well deserved. Okay, our next item is a motion to confer the 2020 Regents Texas Awards. Mike, will you please introduce the recipients?
Mr. Chairman, Regents Teacher Award candidates were nominated by the respective presidents last year and selected by the Foundation Board of Directors based on their outstanding performance as educators, contributors to the development of courses, and their use of innovative teaching methods, among other criteria. Will the 2020 Regents Teacher Award winners please step forward to be recognized? Mr. Chairman, Regents, the recipients of the 2020 Regents Teacher Awards are Dr. Ann Burnett, Dr. Celeste Domsch, and Dr. Rachel Romero of Texas State University. And before I introduce each recipient, I believe there are resolutions before the board for adoption.
Need to make. Regents, do I hear a motion to confer the Regents Teachers Award upon Dr. Ann Burnett, Dr. Celeste Domsch, and Dr. Rachel Romero? We have a second. Do we have any discussion? No one's opposing? The motion passes. All in favor. Thank you.
The first Regents Teacher honoree is Dr. Ann Burnett, Professor of Communication Studies at Texas State University. Dr. Burnett earned a bachelor's degree in history and a Master of Arts degree in rhetoric and communication studies at University of Virginia, and a PhD in communication studies at Northwestern University before joining the faculty of Texas State in 1991. She has received numerous awards recognizing her talent and dedication to the teaching profession, including the Southern States Communication Association John I. Cisco Excellence in Teaching Award, the Texas State University Alumni Association Teaching Award of Honor, the Presidential Award for Excellence in Teaching, and the Minnie Stevens Piper Professor Award. Dr. Burnett has received the Communication Studies Department's Student-Selected Golden Apple Award for undergraduate teaching twice and graduate teaching twice, and has been recognized as the student government's Bobcat Hero for showing leadership, kindness, and compassion. Please join me in recognizing 2020 Regents Teacher Award winner, Dr. Ann Burnett. The next Regents Teacher honoree is Dr. Celeste Domsch, Professor of Communication Disorders at Texas State University. Dr. Domsch earned a bachelor's degree in English at Valparaiso University, a Master of Arts degree in Communication Sciences and Disorders at the University of Texas at Austin, and a PhD in Hearing and Speech Sciences at Vanderbilt University. She has received more than 20 awards recognizing her talent and dedication to the teaching profession, including the Presidential Distinction for Excellence in Teaching Award and the College of Health Professions Achievement Award in Teaching, as well as the Presidential Award for Excellence in Teaching. Through her leadership in the Master's Program in Communication Disorders, Dr. Domsch has increased enrollment and diversity and increased graduation rates and national certification exam scores to nearly 100%. Please join me in congratulating now Dr. Celeste Domsch, recipient of the 2020 Regents Teacher Award. And last but certainly not least, our third Regents Teacher Award honoree is Dr. Rachel Romero, Senior Lecturer in the Department of Sociology at Texas State University. Dr. Romero earned her bachelor's degrees in Sociology and Spanish at the University of North Texas and a Master of Science degree and PhD in Sociology at Texas A&M University. She has received a number of awards for excellence in teaching, including the Presidential Award for Excellence in Teaching, the Dean's Golden Apple Award, the Alpha Chi Favorite Professor Award 4 times, and the John R. Hood Professor of the Year Award. As a Latina scholar, Dr. Romero serves as a role model and mentor to first-generation and non-traditional students. Her teaching evaluations are consistently the highest in the department, and her students have recognized her energy, passion, and ability to positively influence career choices and lives. Please join me in congratulating 2020 Regents teacher, Dr. Rachel Romero. And that concludes the presentation of the Regents Teacher Awards, Mr. Chairman.
Congratulations, everybody. Thank you, Mike. Okay, our next item is a motion to confer the 2020 Regents Staff Excellence Award. Mike, will you please introduce the recipients?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The Regents Staff Excellence Award is given annually to component institution personnel who excel in 6 areas: commitment to the university and its mission, job competency, collegiality, duration of service, community involvement, and exceptional achievement. The selection committee and Chancellor McCall have chosen Dr. Emilio Carranco, Director of the Student Health Center and Chief Medical Officer at Texas State University. Will Dr. Carranco please step forward to be recognized? And Mr. Chairman,